Hey everybody, it's Jakin. We tried copying what we saw Jordan do with his context bot. And so I'm going to show you what we did on one of our calls. Please feel free to join. We want people on these calls so you can see how things work if you want to build your own bots. This is the conversation to show what happened. We had a form where we submitted basketball player and revenue. We didn't call the revenue right, but no worries. I'll show you where that is. So I said Timmy 3 B Duncan. Um, you can tell it was the third attempt with Timmy. But we have right here, what was your favorite memory of watching him play? That's how I responded. And the bot was able to keep on the conversation about Tim Duncan. I waited a few minutes and actually asked, wait, what are we talking about? And it was able to still recollect the basketball player information. So for those who aren't aware, context injection is the AI bot started with the foreknowledge of the submitted information in the form. I'm going to show you over here what we did to make that happen. This is the prompt. It's identical, nearly identical to what Jordan had on his side. And then over here, what we needed was this website summary. We could have called it different, and we could have actually done a better job describing it based off what we're actually asking it to do. But this was copy for copy, as close as we were getting to Jordan today. So website summary has very little value as far as I'm aware. It's just you want it to be somewhat associated so it knows what tool you're calling. But instead of saying, hey, call website summary tool to do this with this, that's an explicit call. We're making an implicit call. So I don't need to say use website summary. I can say take a summary of what was done here and hand it back. So I'm not actually having to call out that tool, which is actually a pretty cool upgrade. This description was really important though. And like I said, this was more for the context that Jordan was working with, and we could have changed it to be the form submission, but it did a really good job. So this post, I actually don't know the details behind it. This is a model that Jordan built, and it's inside the API, and I don't know how it's working, but this is how I made the context work. So we just copied that here. Now the API key, this is it was pretty scary to get started, but it's actually really easy. You just go into your account inside of Assistable, integrations, API keys, and then generate an API key. Now, one of the things you have to do over here is this is what your API key starts with: bus, pipe, and then a string of numbers. You have to, in front of that, have the word bear with a space. And that's just to make sure you are who you are and it's tying your accounts together. And as far as parameters, if we're telling it this tool to get a website summary, well, then we have to go to website. So we have a parameter for URL, and this is the URL, the website of the website the user gives you to scrape. So it was actually that simple. It took forever. There's quite a few people I want to thank. It should have been easier than it was, but we didn't know what we needed to know, and I was really glad to have multiple heads to lean on. But you see right here, this context AI, this ties in directly with the trigger. So we have the trigger that generates this context AI. So this is what actually starts the bot. So you got the trigger, the form is submitted, and this is just to make sure that this was a test stage. We can delete this in live. We don't need to send this SMS, but what we sent is, hey, your favorite b-ball player is this, and this is your revenue. The reason why this didn't load was because this was not the right custom field. We had two custom fields named revenue. One was your revenue and one was revenue, and we picked the wrong one. If we'd have picked the right one, both these values would have shown up. And then we put a weight in, and we used the exact same weight he used on his example. And this is just so that after you send information to GHL then has to make it public to the bots, and it takes a while. So we have right there, it looks like just a few seconds, and then we got context AI that starts the bot. And then we have this, and I'm going to scroll real far. I'm going to go all the way top to bottom. So anyone that wants to copy this doesn't have to make any guesswork. So we have a custom webhook. It's a post. We use the exact same URL from before. There's no authorization on this side, except application JSON and context type same. And then this was a little weird. So here it now defaults to application JSON, but what you see in the video with Jordan, it doesn't show this section, this drop down, but it's actually supposed to be XWW form URL encoded. When you do that, it instead of it being just code down here, it allows you to do these key value pairs. And we were able to copy him directly there. And then we were able to test. And once it tests successfully, then you can hit save. So that's all you need here inside of the context. Now, the cool news is you don't really need, this is the form. This is what it looks like. And I don't know why it is your revenue. I wonder what we did there. If anyone has any idea, go ahead, shout it out. But yeah, we actually don't even have a phone number associated with here. So this is actually using GHL's phone number to text. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know exactly how we're going to get later with voice and phone over the same number through Assistable. I'm really excited for that. It's going to make testing so much easier, but it's also going to make just operations easier. Anyways, I hope I didn't overwhelm you. Let me know if I didn't provide enough detail and if there's anything I can help out with. Jakin, catch you later.